Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Obscerna, hit the like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments, because today's mystery is one that still divides people after more than 60 years. Marilyn Monroe, a name that everyone knows. Even if you've never seen one of her films, the image is instantly familiar. The blonde hair, the red lips, the playful smile. She was the ultimate Hollywood icon, the face of glamour in the 1950s and early 1960s. To the public, she seemed untouchable, larger than life. But on the inside, Marilyn was fragile, struggling with loneliness, depression, and the crushing weight of fame. And then, on August 5th, 1962, the dream shattered. Marilyn Monroe was found dead in her Los Angeles home. The official explanation was simple enough. She had taken too many sleeping pills. A tragic end to a troubled star. But more than 60 years later, that story still doesn't sit right. Too many contradictions. Too many unanswered questions. And that is why her death remains one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century. Welcome to Obscerna. The coroner's report declared it probable suicide. Marilyn had a long history of mental health struggles. She had been hospitalized for breakdowns, prescribed powerful medications, and often spoke about feeling empty. She was only 36, but the pressures of fame and her personal battles seemed to weigh on her heavily. To the police and the medical examiner, the conclusion was obvious. She overdosed on barbiturates, perhaps intentionally, perhaps not. Case closed. But the more investigators, journalists, and biographers dug into the details, the more the case seemed anything but straightforward. Let's start with the scene itself. According to reports, Marilyn's housekeeper noticed a light on in her bedroom late at night. When she tried the door, it was locked. Hours later, Marilyn's psychiatrist arrived, and soon after that, the police were called. Already the timeline is confusing. Some accounts suggest Marilyn had been dead for hours before authorities were notified. Others suggest her doctor was at the house before anyone had even thought to contact the police. And then there's the strangest part. The phone lines in her home were found cut. Why would that be? Who cut them? Then there are the missing items. Marilyn was known to keep personal notebooks, journals, where she recorded her thoughts, her emotions, and according to some, even private details about her powerful connections. These notebooks vanished after her death and were never recovered. Some witnesses claimed they saw them in her home that night. By the time investigators looked, they were gone. Did someone remove them deliberately? If so, what secrets were inside? These strange details gave rise to theories that have lasted for decades. And at the center of most of them are the most powerful men in America at the time, the Kennedy brothers. It's long been rumored that Marilyn Monroe had a romantic relationship with President John F. Kennedy. Some say it was brief, little more than a passing fling. Others insist it was more serious. But what complicates things even further is the allegation that she was also involved with his brother, Robert Kennedy, the U.S. Attorney General. If that's true, then Marilyn was entangled in the lives of two of the most influential figures in the world. Some researchers claim she knew too much about political secrets, about Cold War tensions, about matters that could not risk exposure. Was she silenced to prevent her from speaking out? Another theory points to the mafia. In the early 1960s, the Kennedy administration was actively cracking down on organized crime. The mob had reasons to despise the Kennedys, and some believe Marilyn was caught in the middle. She may have been used as leverage or targeted as a way to send a message. Her death, under this theory, was not an accident nor suicide, but a calculated move by powerful men in the shadows. And then there's the idea of a staged cover-up. According to some accounts, Marilyn's body may not have been in the exact position the police later photographed. The scene could have been rearranged to make her death look like an overdose. Was she given the drugs against her will? Was the entire event orchestrated to appear like a tragic but ordinary suicide? Even some medical experts have questioned the toxicology reports, pointing out inconsistencies in how the drugs were absorbed into her system. Of course, there are also the more extreme theories that Marilyn never died that night, that she was taken away, hidden, her identity erased to protect the powerful. These claims are far-fetched, but they show how deeply her death has embedded itself in the world of speculation and mystery. What's undeniable is the impact her death had on culture. Marilyn Monroe wasn't just another actress. She was the embodiment of stardom, the dream factory of Hollywood-made flesh. But her end revealed the darker side of that dream. The loneliness, the manipulation, the way a human being could be consumed and discarded by fame and by those who controlled it. Her death transformed her from a star into a legend, a myth, a story that would be retold over and over again. Every decade brings new documentaries, new books, new revelations, and new conspiracy theories. Each generation finds itself asking the same question: what really happened to Marilyn Monroe? Was it simply the heartbreaking end of a troubled life? Or was it something much darker, a conspiracy involving presidents, gangsters, and secrets that had to be buried with her? The truth may never be known. Maybe it was suicide. Maybe it was murder. Maybe it was something we haven't even imagined. But that uncertainty is exactly why the story endures. Because Marilyn Monroe never truly died on that night in 1962. She became something else, a riddle, a symbol, a legend forever frozen in time. And sometimes, legends don't fade away. They turn into mysteries. This is Obscerna. Now it's your turn. What do you think really happened to Marilyn Monroe? Drop your theory in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Obscerna for more mysteries from history. Don't forget, follow Obscerna on Instagram and TikTok for daily stories, clips, and secrets from the past.